Whether buying a new home or taking care of one you already own, making renovations and repairs is costly. There's often money available to help, but as 7 News reporter Sean Brinda tells us, there's a long list of people looking for it.
Jason Fodenhauer runs St. Lawrence County's planning office and is getting ready to distribute $615,000 of community development block grant money to about a dozen homes in the county that need money for renovations.
The county has written applications for many years. We've received funding through this Office of Community Renewal dating back to 2000. So for about 25 years or so, we've received funding awards for mostly it's been housing rehabilitation projects.
The program has distributed more than $11 million to hundreds of homes across the county over the years. Michelle Capone, Director of Regional Development for the Development Authority of the North Country, says that these grants have helped repair the county's aging housing infrastructure, and the waiting list to get this money is long.
So the waiting list is about 100. We get phone calls, St. Lawrence County gets phone calls, and as people call looking for housing assistance, we continue to put them on a waiting list. That waiting list is very important because we use that to continue to apply for funding, quite honestly.
If you want to get on that list, reach out to the county planning office. Projects can focus on things like roofing, structural support, and window replacement, as long as applicants have low to median incomes.
Rehabilitating these homes really reestablishes that equity stake, that equity value for the residents that live in them, and that allows them to really get a leg up in everything that they do.
One thing that's delayed these projects is the need for contractors. The planning office needs to have a contractor ready to do the work before it can get the money. Many contractors are working on larger projects, which is leading to longer waiting times for residents to get the funding they need. Sean Brinda, 7 News.